Take me out to the ball game.
Park game.
Take me out to the ballpark game.
You know, maybe we should learn lyrics to this song.
Why? We usually only do the chorus.
What is this, Bad Boys 2?
No, but this shit just got real.
The summary.
Brian Helgeland, the director of LA Confidential, brings you 42, the Jackie Robinson story. So realistically, what is this movie about? In the 1940s, baseball was a very segregated sport. What we're talking about is most of the players were white, except for one. And guess what his name was? Jackie Robinson. Chadwick Boseman stars as Jackie Robinson, and he is supported by one of the best actors,
Harrison fucking Ford.
Hell yeah, Harrison Ford. Mr. I will do any movie as long as you pay me $20 million up front. Quite frankly, I think after this movie, it was well worth the money. This movie takes you from 1947 into Jackie Robinson's rookie year with the Brooklyn Dodgers.
The director uses baseball as the vehicle to really drive the story home, which is really, realistically, just about racism. It's far more convincing than if he just flat out said, racism is bad, watch this movie. The pros.
Let's talk about some of the awesome things about this movie. Chadwick Boseman's resemblance to Jackie Robinson is striking.
Chadwick Boseman's actually surprisingly charismatic on screen. Once you get to see him in the first scene, you start to really like the guy. And the fact that he really tries to control himself and he has to go through all this strife obviously builds his character, and you start to just really like him more and more as the movie progresses. One of the things you'll hear us gripe about constantly is the pacing of the film. This is very important because sometimes if a movie is dragging for too long, you lose the attention of the audience and they actually will be bored and they start asking really bad questions like, why am I here? Why am I watching this movie? One of the good things about this film is that you're never left bored. The entire time it starts, you're basically on this journey and you don't get let go until the very end of the film, which is absolutely fantastic for a movie that's about 2 hours long.
Alan Tudyk delivers a brilliant performance as the racist Phillies manager. Now, he drops the N-bomb a couple times and quite frankly it made me feel very, very uncomfortable. But the fact of the matter is, it wasn't because he dropped the N-bomb that made it so offensive. It was the fact that they showed you for about an hour or so what it actually meant to be a black guy in the 1940s.
So, what's the N-word?
Oh, you know, ninja. You thought we were going to say it, didn't you?
One of the performances that can't be overlooked is that of Harrison Ford, and it was incredible. I can't even stress that enough. It was so much fun to watch him act. Han Solo played the part of Mr. Ricky, who was the owner of the Brooklyn Dodgers. Right at the very beginning, he tells us that he wants to introduce a black man into white baseball. Now at first you don't really know why, and throughout the entire time I felt like I was asking myself that question, like, why is he really doing it? But you don't buy that as the audience member. You don't really buy that right away, so you're really looking for his motive the entire time. And at one point he does actually give it out to you, and it is amazing. I'm pretty sure I cried. Harrison Ford did something really interesting with his character too. He gave him this kind of interesting voice that made that character his own, and nobody else could have played that off. I'm Mr. Ricky! It wasn't Harrison Ford being this guy, it was Mr. Ricky on screen, and it was 100% different from what Harrison Ford sounds like on, in real life. I'm not a huge baseball fan, neither is Lubo, and we knew just enough rules for baseball to know that, hey, this is what was happening. The fact that they didn't try and stuff baseball down your throat the entire time made it very much more enjoyable. I was going to try and pronounce Jackie Robinson's wife's name, the actress, but I gave up on it. Her name is Rachel in the movie. It's good enough for me. Her character was very likable. Honest to goodness, she made it a point to show that she was the center or the core of Jackie Robinson's strength. Every time he almost lost his shit, she was there to pick him back up and to kind of center him. Baby, I'm feeling weak.
Oh, hell no! I've never been Jackie Robinson, so I couldn't really tell you what it was like for him, but I can tell you that if I were in his place, I would want a strong woman like that by my side. One of my favorite scenes in this movie was immediately after Alan Tudyk goes apeshit on Jackie Robinson. He drops the N-bomb. At one point in time, Jackie Robinson has had enough, so he goes into this little tunnel, grabs a bat, and he just breaks it. How many takes do you suppose it took them to get that shot?
I don't know, that looks very difficult. I can't imagine doing it.
I think it's pretty easy, actually. Let's find out.
Angry baseball scene, take one, action.
What the fuck was
These are the cons. Chicka waka.
So far, in all of our reviews, you've heard us talk about shitty acting, good acting, things we like, things we didn't like. And the fact of the matter is, in this movie, one of the biggest things that I didn't particularly care for is the fact that I'm probably never going to sit down and watch this movie more than 2-3 times in my life.
Yeah, certain movies you watch really because of the action or the comedy or, you know, the mixture of both, really. This isn't one of those movies. It does have a couple of moments that are, you know, they're kind of funny and memorable. However, you're not really going to sit down and watch this with anybody.
One of the things I didn't really like about this movie was the fact that it made every single white person, with a few exceptions of course, seem like an outright racist.
Now, it is very possible that back in those days that's how it really was, but I don't really know. I'm from Bulgaria.
Say why I wouldn't give this a
grade. Alright, it's that time again where we get to grade this movie. Woo!
Who?
Yeah. So, what did you really think of this movie?
Well, my expectations weren't really met on this movie. It was overall a very good movie. However, I'm probably not going to go watch it more than, I don't know, 3 times, if that. Mm-hmm. So, I think I'm going to give it maybe like a 3 or a 4. Haven't quite decided yet.
Yeah, I'd agree. I would say it's a 5 in many regards, except not all aspects of it are a 5. So I'd probably agree it's probably a 4.
One of the things that separates good movies from great movies is how much you want to watch that movie again. How many times did you watch Avengers?
Like 50 billion times?
Yeah, me too. How many times are you going to watch 42?
Just the once.
Not 42?
Just once.
So, what do we think? 4.
4.